The agenda for today's meeting. Okay, so far we have discussed about these basics of Hive. The agenda for today's meeting, we are going to discuss about this Hive file format, different types of format that we can make use of in Hive. Hive file format. Okay, followed with we are going to discuss about how to create a table by using Hive complex data types. Here we are going to discuss about creating a table with the array, elements belonging to array, map, which is nothing but a key value representation of data, and structure, a complex combination of heterogeneous data types. So it contains fields associated with the heterogeneous data types. So if time permits, we can continue with Hive partitioning and bucketing. Let me start with the Hive partitioning and bucketing concept. What's the use of partitioning and bucketing? What's the logic behind it? Okay, let me start with the Hive file format. So in terms of the Hive file format I have been concerned. So here there are 4 ways by which you can store data in Hive. Okay, in terms of file format. So here, first the format so far that we have discussed. So far we have discussed about this storing and retrieval data in form of a text file. This is the default format. The text file is the default format. The second one, the second type of format is a sequence file format. If you are dealing with a lot of smaller files, okay, if you are dealing with lot of smaller files, it is the best recommended thing, sequence file format. Third one is RC file format. RC stands for so here row columnar file, sorry, RC file format. We are dealing with the RC file format. So here, if you want to store the data in a compressed format, there are 2 ways by which you can store data. One is RC and another one is ORC. So RC stands for record columnar file format. RC stands for record columnar file format. The main here, if you are going for the analytics on top of this Hive data, then this is best recommended, RC file and ORC file. Then the ORC stands for optimized row columnar. Okay, this is record columnar. Here ORC stands for optimized row columnar data type. So if you want to save the storage space, almost if you want to store 100 GB of data, if you store the data in this ORC format, it occupies only 25 GB. So by adopting some algorithms, it can able to save the storage space. These are all the basic 4 types of file format that we are going to discuss. Okay. So the format so far that we have discussed is coming under text file. What we did, so in terms of Hive table has been concerned. So here we have 2 types of table. I think so we have completed our discussion. One is Hive, the default table, which is nothing but a Hive managed table, and another one is Hive external table. Okay. So how to create a table and how to load the data into the table, that we have already discussed. Okay, creating the table and loading the data into the table. Now, what we have done so far in terms of the tables has been concerned. Also, we have discussed in terms of data types, simple data types like representing integer, representing strings, dates, etc. And we have these following complex data types. Okay, array, map, and structure. Here, so far we have discussed about this simple data types, under which the file format that we are discussing is so far discussed is text file format. What do you mean by a file format? Okay, so file format is nothing but a way in which the information is stored or encoded in a computer file. Okay, how I refers and how I retrieves data from the file. Each and every retrieval depends upon the underlying file format. Okay, so here since Hive, what we call Hive is ETL of Hadoop. We have already stored that Hive stores data in Hive table. Okay, the original data that will be present in your HDFS. There is a mapping of data between HDFS and Hive table. So I will also maintain a metastore, Hive metastore, which maintains the metadata information about the table. For each and every access to the table need to be referred by this Hive metastore. For each and every user related activity, what I will do, I will refer the metadata that is managed by the metastore. Based upon that, it can able to add a structure. What it is stored in HDFS that it can able to aware of. These sort of things we discussed in our previous session. Now, the file format is nothing but for how the information is stored and maintained. So this is the default file format text. Okay, it is used for loading data. What type of data support? It support data load using the comma separated values. It support the separates using a tab as a separator. Okay, it also support spaces as a separator. You can have the file RAM, 9000, dba, as a separator, or you can have RAM tab space 9000, tab space dba, tab as a separator. Anything that as a separator. Okay, so these are all the default. Apart from this text file, so the text file format also may support JSON. Okay, if you are dealing with this JSON data, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. JavaScript Object Notation. So here, if you want to deal this JSON data in a real time, several data such as server logs, web server logs, okay, so your cluster logs, cloud trail logs, these are all stored in forms of JSON format. Okay, so here this JSON format is a very simple format. For handling this JSON data, we make use of this SERD, Hive SERD, or we have two packages that is come integrated with Hive to handle JSON data that we will discuss. So all these type of data, okay, if the data source is text data separated with the following thing, JSON data, we can able to handle this data using this text file format. Okay, so in the text file format, each line of the data is considered as a separate record. Each and every line is considered as a separate record. So we can create a text file in the following simple manner. Okay, so in our Hive cell, connect to your Hive cell, and you know the default format is a create table. That we create a table example employee table. Here you want to specify the schema employee number integer. So let me make it employee name varchar. Okay. Here you want to specify row format, delimiter. Want to specify fields terminated by. So we want to specify how the fields are terminated. Let me take this as a comma as a separator. And at the end we specify stored as the file format text file. This is the way by which you need to create the tables. At the if you don't specify anything here, okay, you can create a table with this field name alone. If your data that we are going to load, example, we imagine that you have data stored under home Hadoop. You have a file by name employee.txt. So if the employee.txt, it is assumed that it contains employee number and employee name from. Okay. If the separator between this is a field 1, this corresponds to field 2. If the separator is control A between this field and field 2, that we have discussed in our previous session, what are all the default separators? Control A, control B, and control C. Control A is used to separate one field and another field. Control B is used to separate the members of the complex, that is the members of array, the members of a structure. Okay, if you have a array member, you have a member Raman, you have Arun, this is an array, you just consider Raja. So if they are all belonging to array, then in this case each and every content is separated using control B. Control C is used to separate a key and a value pair. Okay, for example, income tax is your field. Income tax is a 10%. Okay, so this corresponds to key, this corresponds to value. By default, IT control C 10. Okay, this is the way by which Hive handles data in its default format. So if you have stored the data in this employee.txt file in the default format, you no need to specify this row format. Okay, just the creation of table along with this field name is sufficient enough. But if your data that is in the source file where you are going to map it into the Hive tables, if it overrides the default format, it does not contain in default format. In this case, it is assumed that the data is a separator Raman. Okay, the employee number 1 comma Raman, 2 comma Arun. The separator using comma as a separator instance. You want to specify this row format delimiter and fields terminated by comma. And in complex data types that we are going to discuss, we also specify how members of this array and how the members of this structure is separated and how key and value pair is separated, that we are going to discuss. Here the thing, how to store it, how the file need to be handled, that is need to be specified by stored as a text file. Okay, so if you don't specify anything, then by default what the Hive will consider, it will consider the file, it will as a text file. Okay, so here for performing this input and output activity associated with this text file, it will refer the following packages. It will refer warj, apache, Hadoop, Mapper. How to handle input and output in Hive text file format? You have these two classes: text input format class and text output format class. These are all the two classes which is coming under the following packages, using which if you are going to write a MapReduce in handling Hive to make a read and write, you want to include these two classes: text input format, text output format, which is coming under the following package. Okay, so here you know how to create a file and how to what you need to do: create a table. So row format delimiter, fields terminated by. So if it is as a separator, then you want to specify /t. Okay, so here you want to specify stored as a text file. So here we need to load the data by simply using the load statement that you already discussed. Load. You want to load specified data. The data can be either in a local file system or in a remote file system, that is in your HTTPS file system. So to load the data, the command is load. You want to specify the data. So here if it is local, you want to specify local. So you want to load data local in path. You want to specify this path. Okay, and you need to specify where it needs to be loaded. Okay, so here the load command loads the data into the table. You want to specify the table. You want to specify the name of the Hive table. This is the syntax. In this case, local is optional. Okay, so if you exclude local, what happens here? The employee.txt need to be in your HTTPS. If it is in HTTPS, you no need to specify the local keyword. local keyword assumes that the data is in your local file system. Okay, so you can load data local in path into the table, or you can issue another option override into the table. Okay, so the format that we are going to discuss apart from this default text input format, the sequence file format, RC format, ORC format, we are going to use this option of overriding. Okay, so these are all the key points associated with how to handle data in terms of the text file format. So the text file is the default which we normally use. Okay, so here if we are having a large number of smaller files, if we are dealing with large number of smaller files, in this case, text file is not a recommended one. Based upon which factor that you decide that the file is a smaller file. If the size of the file, if the size of the Hive table, okay, size of the file is less than the default block size. So in this case, it is 64 MB if it is 1.x, and it is 128 MB, it is 2.x. Okay. If your Hadoop version is 1.x, the default block size is 64. If your file size that you are going to handle with the example, in this case we are discussing that it is a employee.txt file. If the size of the file is less than 64 MB and it is considered as a small file. Okay. If we are going to handle, imagine there are thousands of files with a size less than block size. So here each file, if you are let we have this employee.txt, okay, employee one.txt, like we have up to 1000 records, employee 1000.txt. So each file's information metadata need to be maintained. Each file's metadata need to be maintained by Hive metastore. So here, if you are having a large, imagine this file size is assumed to be 10 MB, 1 MB. Okay, each file size is assumed to be 1 MB. So if there are 1000 files, there are 1000 MB. Okay, so you want to maintain the metadata information associated with all 1000 files, and it will be a complex thing. It will be a bottleneck. Please let me know. Please make a note of this. So here, if you want to maintain this employee.txt file, okay, small files of size, it is assumed to be 1 MB of size. Okay, if it need to be maintained, that metadata information associated with 1000 files will be very huge in number. Okay, if you store this file in this text format, default text file, it is not it no one to provide you a better performance because of the huge number of metadata that you need to maintain. So under these cases, if you need to handle a smaller files and the number of files is very high with a very less in size. Okay, here you can organize all these files, that is employee.txt starting from 1 to 1000 into a container. All the files, a container is a storage location. Okay, here we will organize all the files under a single control. So if that is the case, if you want to handle this sort of things, you want to go for this sequence file format. Please make it. So the sequence file format, what it will treat here, it will act as a container to store all the smaller files. So being the container containing all information, the number of metadata informations that is associated with the file will be very less in number. Okay, so here it is a binary file, not a text file. It is a binary sequence file. Is a binary file. It represents data in forms of key and value pairs. It represents data in form of key and value pairs. The main advantage of going for sequence file is it is used to club, that is, it is used to merge. So two or more smaller files and make it as a single larger file. So that once it is merged, the Hadoop metadata will be very better. Store need to maintain metadata information about this single file only. Okay, that is the advantage of going for this sequence file. Here, in terms of sequence file has been concerned, there are three types of sequence file. One is uncompressed sequence file. Second one, record compressed. Here in uncompressed, each and everything will store data in forms of key and value pairs. Then third one, block compressed. There are three types of sequence file: uncompressed sequence file, record compressed sequence file, and block compressed sequence file. All the files will handle the data in forms of key and value pairs. Difference between these two things is, so in record compressed, only the values associated with this have been compressed. Values alone is compressed. Whereas in case of block compressed, both keys as well as values have been compressed, stored in a compressed form. Please bring it. Block compressed will compress both keys and values. So while creating the table, at the end you want to specify that this all other things are same. You want to specify stored as sequence file. That's all. What thing that we have discussed while creating the table need to be followed, etc., etc. Stored as SUQU TFC sequence file. Okay. Here, for reading and writing data into the sequence file, once again it uses the following class: varj dot apache dot hadoop dot mapper. This is the package. Okay, the sequence file input format. Sequence file input format. Okay, so this is the package that you need to go for. Here, this is for input. You have sequence file output format. Sequence file output format is another class file that you need to make use of it under the package varj dot apache dot hadoop dot instead of mapper hive dot query language dot input output. Okay. So these are all the packages that you need to include in your program if you are going to write a map reduce using Java. Okay, for performing an input and output, if the file is a sequence file. Yes. Here, another thing that you want to make a note here is, okay, the one So here, while loading the data, compared to that of your default text file format, here in this sequence file format, okay, being you are going to store the data in a compressed manner. Okay, so you are going to store either a key will be compressed or key and value will be compressed according to the type that you are choosing. So here it is not possible to load data directly into the table as of by using your load statement. You need to insert data from you want to create. You should have a normal table. The table's data should be of a text file format. So here you want to create a table. A table format is of a sequence file. Okay, it may be a RC file for all the three things. If it may be a ORC file, all the three you can't able to insert data directly. You can't. It is not possible. Why so? Because so being in all the three RC, ORC, and sequence file, the data being it is compressed, you can't input a compressed data into the table. Therefore, you should have your data copied from one table into another table. To load the data, apart from this text file format, you need to take the data, insert the data from another table. Okay. So here, being the reason behind that, being it is a binary and a compressed manner, it is not possible to store the data directly into the table. Okay. So that is here how to load the data. So you want to create a table. So while creating the table, let me create table. Let me make it SF underscore employee, sequence file employee, all other thing. What you need to specify at the end, you want to specify stored as sequence file. That's all. Stored as sequence file. Okay, under these circumstances, you want to, this is now you have a table my name, SF sequence file underscore employee. It is your assumed that it is your original employee table. So here what you need to do, you want to load the data from this table. How to load the data from this table? The command is insert overwrite table SF underscore employee. So insert overwrite table. Overwrite in sense you have another option called append. Okay. So overwrite if you have any data in this SF underscore employee table, all the data will be erased and it will be overwritten. Select start from employee. So all the data from the employee table will be taken and it will be moved, and if you have any data in SF employee, that will be removed and it will be replaced by the employees table's data. Please make a note. This is the way by which you need to create the all other operations are same. Only thing, if apart from this text file, if you want to store data in other file format, being those data are binary and it is stored in a compressed manner, those data cannot be inserted directly into the table. Instead of that, it want to be read from another table which has data in a text format and need to be overwritten into the target table. Please make it. This sort of sequence file is very helpful if you have data stored in multiple smaller files. Okay. Next type of file format that we are going to discuss is RC file. RC stands for record columnar file. Record columnar file. So once again, it stores data in a binary format as of your sequence file. It provides a high compression rate compared to that of your sequence file. Provide high compression. The data will be compressed more So then it is a row by row compression. The compression will be done on row by row operation. Where we want to use this record columnar file. If you want to do activity, if you want to perform some operations concurrently on multiple rows. Okay, if you want to perform some operations concurrently on multiple rows, in this case, storing the data in this RC format is a better choice. Okay, yeah, once again, it is a binary format, stores the data as a key and value pair. It stores the data as a key and value pair. Please make a note. So many. Good morning, many. Is urgent. ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம் 10 நிமிஷம் கிளாஸ் முடிச்சிருக்கேன் நானே பேசுறேன் ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை கிளாஸ்ல இருக்கேன் ஓகே 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 so here it provides very high compression rate compared to the DOF we were previous, so it is more or less same similar to the DOF sequence file, whereas the RC file stores column of the table. It stores data in a column by column format, columnar format. Rather than handling data in a row by row, it handles data in a column by column. How the data has been stored? The entire table. First, imagine that you have an employee number, you have employee name. Under employee name, it is assumed you have first name, middle name, and last name, and you have an address field. Under address field, it is assumed you have door number, street name, and city name. Okay, these are all the entries. So, employee number, employee name, and employee name contain first name, middle name, last name, and your address field is assumed to be door number, street name, and city name. Okay, this is your record. Okay, how if you store this table in RC columnar file, what it will do? First, it will make a horizontal split. It first perform a partitioning row by row. Okay, first partition rows horizontally into row split. Okay, some group of rows. For example, imagine if you have 100 entries. Let me imagine that 1 to 50 will be splitted and 51 to 100 will be splitted. First, this split we call this as a row split. But it performs a row split. After that, it vertically partitions each row split in a columnar manner. Okay, so let me take, it will take this employee number as a separate entity. Then all the associated columns, first name, last name, it will take as a separate entity. And all the address associated subfields, door number, street name will be taken as a separate. So this performs once again a vertical split, 3 vertical split. And it will store and organizes data in forms of this vertical split, row split and the column split. All the related columns will be grouped together. Please make a note. So here, if you are going to the advantage here, this is the way by this is a column family. You call this as a column family. All the columns associated with the employee name will be grouped under a single entity. All the columns associated with the address will be grouped under a single entity. Okay. So it stores data in a column-oriented format in this manner. So where it is helpful, if you are going to perform some data analytics, then this is a better choice. So each and every file will have its own applications. Okay, own advantages where we need to make use of it. If you are going to make use of this data analytics, then this format is a better choice. Please make a note. Here, the Facebook, Google, they are using data. They are using Hive to store data in this RC and ORC file format. Analytics, it is especially meant for analytics. Then the basic thing once again, you want to create a table using create table followed with this table's parameter, and you want to specify stored as RC file. That's all. Stored as RC file. Once again, being it is stored in binary format and high compression, you can't able to insert data directly into this RC file. And what is the solution? Then you want to read the data from the source table and you want to place the data into the target table. You want to read the data from the source table which has the data in a normal text format. Then this is your target table which is your RC format. So the same command. Insert, overwrite table. Let me imagine this is your RC underscore employee. Select start from employee. Okay. So this is the way by which you need to go for this creation and storing data into the RC file form. Another type, final type is optimized row columnar format, which is a little bit enhanced format compared to that of RC. That we call it as a ORC file. Optimized row columnar format. So here, it is the format which provides us very less space. It is almost reducing 75% of storage space. As I discussed, if we have a 10 GB, 100 GB file, if we store the file in ORC format, it occupies only 25 GB. So what is the advantage? The main advantage is storage space. The storage space is very less. It occupies very less space. And second advantage is the speed of data processing is very high. The data processing speed will be very high. Okay. So in terms of other files, RC file or in sequence file, it provides the maximum optimized reduced storage. Okay. So the same thing, what you need to specify, you want to create a file as stored as ORC. That's all. Stored as ORC. Okay. Once again, it stores the data in a binary and a compressed format. It provides a very high level of compression. Okay. So here, what you need to do? Here, you need to once again load the data from a normal table into the ORC table. We can't load data directly into the ORC file. So these are all the ways by which you create the data and you copy the data. Okay. So using the opposite file formats. So the recall. So if your data is delimited using comma or as a tab, okay, or a CSV, or if it is a JSON data, you go for this text file format. Okay, the default format text file. If you are having a large number of smaller size, if your data is stored in a file whose size is less than that of the block size, if you have large number of files, you go for this sequence file format. Then third thing, if you want to do some analytics on top of the data, then you go for this RC file format. If you want to reduce the storage space in a very less manner, then you need to go for the ORC file. Okay, so according to your requirement, this is your default. According to your requirement, you want to choose the file format. Yes, we will have discussion on what according to your requirement. Okay, So far we have discussed about the text array. Let me know or any one example of how to handle any one sequence or sequence. Okay, is it clear now? That is simple. Let me I give one example how the real time table will look like. First, I get the same employee table with the employee number, employee name, and then salary, what we have created and job. Then let me create another field, subordinates, who is working under the employee. Let me create a salary deduction. What are all the deductions that is going to be made? And the address of the employee. So under this case, you have this employee number declared as integer, employee name declared as bracket, and salary declared as float, and job declared as bracket. So these are all the things that we have discussed. Subordinate, let me have the employee by name Raman. Under Raman, there are two persons are working. Okay, one is Arun and another one is Karthik. These two guys are working under Raman, so that they are subordinates to Raman. How to represent this entity? This entity is a collection of several items. Okay, we have another person. Babu is also working in the ground. Therefore, this is constructed in form of an array. The data type associated with this representation is let me create a subordinate. A subordinate field, let me create a subordinate field. We want to declare this field as the array. So, what is the data type of this array? So, here the array numbers are of string data type. Okay, the array numbers are of string data. It is a collection of strings. This is the way by which we can declare a string and specify the associated data type as array and within that the argument is contained or the number data type. In this case, being it is a string, it is a string. If we want to make it as an integer, it should be integer. It supports the string, integer, and everything. And next one, deductions. Okay, in this case, let me make the deductions. We have two types of deductions. Okay, so uh, income tax value is 12 percentage, and then provident fund is 8 percentage. So these are all the deductions that need to be incorporated. One deduction is income tax, another deduction is provident fund. How you can represent? This is your primary field. Okay, this is your main field under which you want to specify in the following manner: IT deduction 12%, PF deduction 8%. So here this is represented in form of a key and value pair. Okay, so IT is the key, 12% is the value. Similarly, PF is the key, 8% is the value. How this key and value pair of these deductions can be represented? So for that we want to make use of the following function. Now, yesterday I told doing this mathematical programming, we want to represent each and every value of a key and value pair. For that we have a data type called as map. Then in this case, the map contains two arguments. One is first argument key and another argument value. In this case, we have this 12% can be represented as 0.12 and 8 can be represented as 0.8. Okay, so if we are not able to specify percentages, it needs to be represented in a numerical format 0.12 and 0.8. Therefore, the key here, which data type the key belongs to, it is the string data type. What is the value? The value is float data type. This is the way by which the direction according to this requirement need to be represented. But let me make with this third example. Also because all other discussions associated with the partitioning is going to be involved. That's very simple. This complex data type. That's the reason. Okay. So the address. All the addresses that we have door number, and we have street name, and we have city. So here the door number is a integer. Again, once again, street name is a string and city is also a string. That's why string number say. How to represent? Okay. Here the address again is similar to that of array, but the members of the particular address is not of the same data type. We have heterogeneous data type. One integer and the remaining two string data type. Therefore, we can't make use of this array data type for representing address. After what we need is we need to get the data types coming in the complex
a structure data type. Structure is similar to array, but the numbers of structure are of heterogeneous data type nature. Okay, how to represent this address? A simple thing. Then what you need to do, you want to specify the address as your primary field, and the data type is said to be a structure, open, and the door number is first innermost field, colon, the door number is integer, comma, and street name, colon, street name is string, and comma, and city, colon, city is string. Okay. So these are all the ways by which you can able to represent this complex data. Okay. So here, what we need to do, if you are representing complex data type, you need to specify how these members are separated. So in our yesterday's example, what we did, we have only the following four data types. Integer, job, and character. Under these circumstances, so while specifying this row format at the time of creating the table, by specifying row format delimiter, what parameters that we need to add first? Yes, we need to add three things. One, how one field and another field is separate. In our yesterday's example, it is the part of the separate. How one line and another line, that is one record and another record is separated. It is separated using new line as a separator. And third thing, how the type has been stored. It is stored as a text. In this case, you need to add additional parameters. How the array numbers are separated. How the key and values are separated. How the numbers of structures are separated. Okay? You want to specify apart from the normal specification of the string, field, line, and how it is stored. You want to represent how this array numbers and how these members of the structure and how and key and value paths are being separated. In this case, this array and this structure, usually we call this as a collection data item. We call this as a collection. Okay, so by default, these collections, the number of array and number of structures, the collection items, also map is also called the collection items. Okay, you have how many records? Let me make it in the record. Employee number, employee name, salary, job, subordinate, deductions, address. Okay, so deductions, there are two types of deduction. One is provident fund. Let me make it round up to rupees. Okay, 1,000 rupees. And another type of deduction, income tax. Income tax 3,000. Okay, under subordinates, we have two subordinates. One is Balu, another number is Raja. Okay, employee number 1, employee name 1, salary 9,000, job DBA. So the subordinates are following persons. And in terms of others, we have door number, we have street name, we have city. Okay, so door number 12 corresponds to this street name MKP lane, and city corresponds to mother. Okay, so these are all the ways by which your data need to be represented in your Hive. Here in this case, we have in our original table, so we create another record 2 is Arun, salary 10,000, again is engineer, and the subordinates are Arun. Hello? சொல்லு. இல்ல ராஜகுமார் நீ வெளியில போனா சாவி கொடுத்துரு கேட்டாங்க. Okay. Now here Ram, this is subordinate. Another subordinate is R. Once again the deduction for PF and IT field. Okay. So PF deduction 1,500. IT deduction, okay, 4,000 rupees. And also is having this address, right? Nehru Street and then Chennai. Okay, so these are all the two entries. How these entries need to be separated. So you already aware that the fields are separated using this employee number, employee name. These fields are separated by default. These are all the default separators. Okay, Control A, Control B, and Control C. These are all the Hive default separators. Control A is meant for the field 1 and field 2. These two fields are separated using Control A as a separator. And that is the use of Control B and Control C. Okay. So here, if you want to separate the members, okay. So here, in this case, the member corresponds to the subordinates, Balu and Raja. And PF 1000, IT 1000, they are all members. So here, this collection item, the members of this collection item here in this case, it is an array. Subordinate is an array. Here this is a map and this is a structure. These are all collection items. Each and every member. This guy is one member, Balu is one member, Raja is another member. Okay, so for the first record. In this case, similarly, PF and 1000 is one member. IT and 3000 is another member. And door number, street name, item, city is one member. And we have 12 FKP line Madurai is a single member. Within this number, we need to differentiate 12 and MKP line and Madurai. We needed separation. Here, this number, how it is separated. So, target we have to make use of the Control B and Control C as a separator. Okay. So, where you need to use Control B. In this case, Control B is used in such a manner that the members of array, Balu and Raja are separated using Control B. Okay. Balu and Raja are separated using Control B. Please make a note. So, where you use this Control B? For key and value separation, here in this case, you have PL and I value separation. Here you will be using Control C. Okay. So, if you want to separate between the numbers with respect to key and value, you use Control C as a separator. So, here if you want to separate the numbers of the array or map or structure, in this case, you have to use this one. Control B as a separator. Okay, I will let you know how it will look like. Now, the data type is represented in the following manner. One is employee number, RAM, the value real value, RAM 9000, DBA, Balu, Raja, PF, 1000, IT, 3000, 12 door number, MJP lane, this is our data. So how it is separated? Let me first take the separation. So here these are all fields. The employee number, employee name. You want to aware of the data structure. Then only you can able to do any action and outcome. Salary, job, and this is the subordinate. Both the members are subordinate, and this corresponds to deductions, and this corresponds to address. Here the separators are. Here 1 and B, these are all fields. They are separated by Control A. Control A as a separator. Control A as a separator. Control A as a separator. Then Balu and Raja belonging to subordinate. In this case, it is coming under collection item. Now this member Bala and Raja is separated using control B as a separate. Okay. So Bala and Raja, this is subordinate. Another field is deduction field. Entire thing is a deduction field. Therefore, with this the field ends. Therefore, you want to use figure control A as a separate. These both the things will be considered as coming under one field, and this is 3 coming under another field. The separated field is control. Okay, you want to use control A as a separate. And being address is a structure, those members of this particular address need to be separated using control B. Here, the 12 MKP line and Madurai need to be separated as control B. Okay, this end line will be terminated by control B. So in this case, the PF, you have PF value. The PF and value is separated using control C. IT and value is separated using control C. PF is on record, IT is on record, both the records coming under the complex. Therefore, the members of this collection need to be separated using control C. These are all the ways by which you need to store the data in your source file. Please make a note. You go through this, I will give you a minute time duration. If you get any difficulty in this case understanding, let me know. I will resolve your doubt. We are now going to discuss how to override, how to create a table by overriding the above set structure. We have a table employee number, we have a table employee name, we have a table salary, we have a subordinate column, and we have a deduction column. We have the same address column. But I am going to override my data. Okay, how to represent it? So let me create a table. Here, please make a note of all those things. Create table. So far we are discussing with Hive manager table. Not just start the discussion on the external table. Create table. Employee. So employee number is an integer. Amount. Employee name is a var, or you can make it as a string, var of 20. Okay. So next one. Salary is a flow. And we have this subordinate. This subordinate is declared as an array. Okay. So the data type of array is string. string, comma. Then the next field, deduction. This deduction field is represented as a map. And here the map containing two things. The key value is a string. In this case, the value is so. This is the way by which the map can be set. Then another field, address. Once again, address is a structure. It contains a door number, colon, which is of integer. So here, the second thing, you have this street name, colon. The street name is considered as a vector of 20, comma, and the third field, city, colon. Once again, it is a vector of those things. Okay. So this is the way you want to go. This is the way by which the table is created. Now what you need to do, you want to specify the format, row format. Why you need to specify the row format? You are going to override the default value. Okay? Row format, delimiter. First, the default field set. Terminate one field and another field is terminated by, let me make it in this example, comma as a separator. Here the members of the collection items, all the three complex data types, collection items, one member, another member, terminated by, let me make it as a colon as a terminator. And map and key, the columns, the members of map key and value, map key, terminated by hyphen. Let's make it hyphen as a separator. So, and finally, line terminated, one line and another line. Line terminated by a new line character and the file is stored as a set. So this is the way by which you need to create which overrides the default. How a value will look like? Let I explain you a value. If we create a value 1 and then another number RAM, employee name. Okay. First field employee number, employee name, salary 9,000, and then subordinates Balu and then Arun are subordinates. Okay. So here direction map IT 0.5%. Okay. Then P of 0.8%. Now address 12 MKP line and Madurai. So this is my data. So what we have specified here, the fields are determined by comma. So field 1 comma, RAM comma, 9,000 comma, Palu and Arun are taken as a single field comma. So IT 0.5, PF 0.5 is taken as a separate field comma, and the 12 MKP line is a separate field. So the comma as a separate. These are all comma as a separate. In your resource file, you want to create a file in this manner. Next, what you are going to do, you want to specify the next thing. Okay, in this case, the collection members, Balu or Aruna, members belonging to the collection data type. Therefore, colon as a separate. Okay, here we have colon as a separate. And we have IT 0.5, PF 0.5 is another number. Therefore, we should have colon as a separate. 12 MKP should have colon as a separate. And between that, we have another element, map and key value. Here being this map is represented as a string and float. Here ID is a key and 0.5 is the value. How this key and value has been separated? By using the third type of separator. So let me make it icon or underscore. Let me make it icon. So IT icon 0.5. PF icon 0.5. This is the way by which you have to create a employee document. This is the way of overriding the default separator according to your requirements. Please make a note with the same example. I am going to execute the practical with this similar example. So please take a note. Now you know how to simply access the field if it is a simple field. Select employee name and job from employee. Whereas if your requirement is you want employee name, the city name and IT. You have employee name is one field, and where you find the city? The city field is present under the address field. Okay, the address is the main name and city is the subname. Similarly, if you are looking for how much of IT the particular employee is paying, it needs to be accessible under this particular direction. Direction is the main name. Under this, you have the representation of ID as a subname. How to access members of this correction? We will be discussing later. So, okay. So, here you have a separate mechanism. You need to follow some separate way of accessing the members of this complex data type. If it is a single data type, you can directly access a specific comma as a separator among the needed fields. If it is complex, you need to follow some procedure. I will let you know. Okay, it is clear for you, please everyone. I need a response. Can I proceed further? Balamudanka, Deepra, Dhanakshna, Nanda, Gokul, Jayakantan. Sir, no, am I making sense with this presentation or not? So we start from first Balamudanka, it is your turn. It is clear. Simply, if I alone talk, then that won't make any sense. Please. If you have any doubt, kindly clarify your doubts without any hesitation. Okay. So you know how to handle simple data type and a complex data type. Yes, thank you, Ganga. previously gone through this sort of discussions in your previous, you should, one thing you should avoid is, so if you are using this complex data types, like array, vector, and map, when you issue a select query on top of this data, so Hive returns the result in properly supported complex data in a notation called as JSON notation. This has some Java simple object notation, which is a lightweight representation of the data, which is easy and very simple in understanding, not only for human and also for machines. But usually, several real-time examples deals with this JSON data. We have a separate session how to handle this JSON data using the concept of SERDI. SERDI stands for serializer and deserializer. Also, we have to build in functions to how to using this building functions how to handle JSON data. Okay. So here the data which is represented only in the JSON format. You go check with the additional JSON format. Okay. How the data is organized in JSON format, you can work with the several JSON real-time example sites. Okay. So the thing that I want to make you aware is Hive will retrieve the result and it will display the result only in form of a JSON data. Now I have a data. I need to access. Okay. So let me make it another example. I am having an employee detail with the employee detail with the following information. This is what that we are going to use in our query. Okay. So we have an employee name and let me have a contact. The contact is represented as a map, and again this is an example where we have both key and value as a string. Okay. And similarly, you have this address. So now address is a structure. And you have another field called job history. These are additions. Employee name and another field contact. ID is represented as a map. Address is represented as a structure and job history. And the job history, we are going to represent the array of sectors. Okay. This is a little bit complex example. How we are going to represent. Okay, so here, this contact, the employee may have a contact in the following manner. Okay, so the employee contact is he may have a phone contact, he may have a mobile contact, he may have an email contact. These are all the three possible contacts in the data. Okay, so you may in this contact, let me make it, you may have a phone contact. The phone number of employee is 2320181. So the second contact he is having is he may have a mobile contact. Mobile colon 944345402. And third contact he is having a mail contact. ram@gmail.com. Okay. So these are all the three contacts. So here how this is represented. You need to represent first as the key and second as the value. In this case, if this contact need to be represented as a value, here being it is a string, the key and the value, both the things will be considered as a string. Okay, key is string and value is string. If I simply issue select employee name, contact, what happens here in this case? From employee table, simply it will list the employee name, we make it employee name graph, and it will list all the three details, both mobile and email. I want only mail contacts. I am not interested in the remaining thing. How I can access the particular number. Okay. Here in this case, these are all numbers belonging to array. Okay. How I can able to access the particular number. So start that we are going to now discuss. Okay. If you want to access the number belonging to this complex data types, okay, what you need. So this is coming under the contact job history. This is the main field. This is your main field name, and these are all the subfields, phone and mobile and email are subfields. If you want this mail contact, what you need to do is, here you want to select the employee name is same, comma, you want to specify the mail contact, under the bracket, you want to specify mail. That's all. Okay, contact mail will, if you want to access the member, if you data type is represented in the following manner, that is the map manner. Here you want to specify the main field and the square brace containing the key value of what is interested. If I want to make a phone number, then within this I want to represent contact business field and I want to represent phone. Okay, these are all the ways by which I can able to access the number belonging to the appropriate data type. Okay, please make a note. How I can access the individual member sector. For example, in my requirement, I need to access the city. How I can access the city? So to access the member belonging to this key and value map, I need to use this square brace. Okay, and the key name need to be given. If I want to access the structure, what I need to do, select. If you want to issue the IS name, let me make E dot city from employee E where E dot name equal to Ram. This is my query. Okay. So I want to which city Ram belongs to. That is my requirement. So E dot city from employee. What is the E? Here, the concept that I am using here is table alliance. The concept that I am using is a table alliance. Okay, sorry. Here we have this employee numbers and we have this address field. The address field containing door number and city. Okay, so here if I want that this address field to be addressed, I simply take E dot address from employee and employee number 1, comma, E dot address, door number 12, city Madurai. Both the things will be listed. If I want only the city need to be listed, what I need to do, here E dot, I need to use this dot operator. E dot, the primary field address of city. If I want to access a member belonging to this particular structure, I need to use dot operator. If I want to access a member that is belonging to map, I want to use the square brace. Please make it. So you know, to access a number belonging to this structure, you need to use dot operator. To access the number belonging to key and value pair, you need to use this square brace. Okay, primary name square brace. Next we have left out with only. Also access the number belonging to a normal array. If you are accessing a number with array, what you need to do, for example, subordinate. Babu is first subordinate, Anand is second subordinate. What you need, simply subordinate, the index value is 0. Select employee number, subordinate from employee, that employee name is equal to 1. So I want to find out the subordinate of the RAM means employee number 1 and the subordinate of 0 will let you know the subordinate is 1. If I want the city of RAM, what I need to do? So here, if I want to add a city, here in this case, I want to do F dot lengthy description. Here what I am doing is I am giving alias name. Instead of employee, I want this employee can be available using the alias name E. This is called the table alias. And using this alias, I can able to access the number of the employee. So how far it is applicable? It is applicable only for the query. If I issue a second query using that, it won't access it. Alias name is a validity that is light chain query is within a query. Okay, so we can't make it beyond query. Please make a note. This is the way by which you need to access the members of your complex data. Now, the concept of partitioning in bucketing is used to organize your data in a finer granularity manner. Okay, so here if you want to organize the data, for example, let me take a data containing the following value for the country. Okay, so if your query is involving only the data belonging to India, assume that you have in this particular data set that we take a data set by name employee, which contains 10 lakhs of records. Out of which only 1 lakh of information belonging to India, remaining 9 lakhs belonging to the opposite countries. If you are applying a query, and if it is a normal table, for example, here we are looking for the condition where country is equal to India, even though your query is interested only in this 1 lakh, it will also go to the remaining 9 lakhs if your data is organized in a normal table. If you store the data, the records associated with India separately, Australia separately, England separately, in this case, your query will be applied only on the data sets associated with India before going through the remaining 9 lakhs of records. So this happens if you are organized the table under a concept called as partitioning and another concept called as bucketing. Okay, so here these are all the techniques using which you can organize your data in a specific granularity manner by which the performance can be enhanced to a great extent. You are not entitled confined to organize data only on a single partition. You can also organize in a sub-partition. For example, under India we have our own country plus states. I am looking for my data, only the data associated with Tamil Nadu is 5,000. I am looking for those transactions associated with Tamil Nadu means you can create multiple partitions. You can create a partition country and you can create a second partition state. So that within the India, you have your several sub-partitions, and if your query is involving the states equal to Tamil Nadu means only the associated records will be queried with. It will have more efficiency in retrieving the data. So the concept behind partitioning is you can create a partition and store data not only on a single field, on a particular field, you can have on multiple fields. Another concept of bucketing is if you have a specifying the division in terms of partitioning, then the number of partitions is not under your control. For example, in a country field, if there exists 100 unique country values, the number of partitions will be 100. If you want to make it as a 10 means, it is not possible. For that, you need to go from the concept called as the bucketing. Bucketing uses a concept called as the hash function. Then, for example, if it is India, the value will be fed to this hash function. It will produce a unique value. Let's make it the value to be 10, and the formula is this hash value modulus the number of buckets will produce your 0. So if you want all these 100 values belonging to this countries, 100 countries, all the values belonging to the 100 countries, to the organize under bucket, you have bucket 0, you have bucket 1, up to you have 10 buckets, bucket 9. So you read a record India and the hash value of the record is going to be 10, 10 modulus 10 equals to 0 means the record associated with India will be 4 here. If you have another record called as UK, whose hash value is 9 in 10, then you have 9 modulus 10, it will return you a value 9 and UK will be 4 here. By applying this hash concept, you can able to restrict the data belonging to your source table to be organized under the buckets that you have specified. So these are all the ways by which the bucketing and partitioning will help you in organizing your data in a well-defined granularity manner. And as a result, the subsequent advantage of doing this partitioning and bucketing is your query retrieval will be very, very, very efficient. Okay? So we are going to.
I have a doubt.
Yes. Please wait until how the hash function working to get us a unique value, sir. Which one? How the hash function is? Okay. So let me create a table for this purpose. For our requirement, let me create a table based upon certain partition. So here I am going to create a table based upon two columns. That is our partitioning column. One is country and another one is state. So what we have discussed. Okay. So the syntax for creating such a table is Hive. Create table. When we make the table as a customer, we have a customer ID whose data type is declared as integer. Then we have a customer name whose data type is varchar, and you have customer city, once again varchar, and here we have three fields. One is ID and the name is city. Okay, so here I am going to create a table. Okay, so the table is going to be a partitioned table. Therefore, what I need to go for here is I need to go for a keyword called as partitioned by. I need to give, I want to give the partitioning field. So I am going to make a partition based upon country. Okay, so also I am going to make a partition based upon states according to our requirement. State varchar. Then I want to specify the row format delimiter. And I want to specify my source field. Since I am going to create an example which covers only a simple data type, no need to go beyond further. For our simple example, okay, fields terminated by comma as a separate. By comma as a so this is the field. Okay, what happened here in this case is it will create the table by name customer with the ID and the name and city. Only with these three fields alone it will be created. If you check it, it will show only it contains three fields. But this partition by country and varchar are not visible to this now. Once you create the table, it will be not visible now. So assume that your data belonging, so you have a partition by name India, country, and another India, you have a partition by name Tamil Nadu, you have partition by name state Karnataka, you have partition by name Kerala, you have partition by name Andhra. Let me make it. Okay. So these are all the four sub-partitions. You have a country India, and you have partitions under the country. Similarly, you have a country US, under which you have states like California, you have Atlanta, you have New Jersey. Okay. So similarly, you have a country called UK. So under which you have London, you have Birmingham. So these are all the data associated. Now, what happens here in this case? You need to specify a partition by, you need to specify only the field that you are interested. But your table at that time of creating this does not have any field for that purpose. If you give a description customer, it will let you know only the three fields, not all the partitioned by fields. Then when these partitioned by fields will be added, if this partition by fields will be added, you have your data. So your data set would be, let me make it to create a data set with the following information. Okay. So let me create a data set without the corresponding field value on a particular location. So I will first issue the load statement, and after that I will let you know how to create a data set. Now we are going to load in this load data. Once again, the data is assumed to be in local path, local in path. If we have a phone, under the phone, we have a Hadoop. Under Hadoop, let me imagine you have a tn.text field associated with customers belonging to Tamil Nadu into table name. The name of the table is customer. Here, you want to specify the partition field. Okay, you want to specify the partition. Partition, explicitly you want to specify country equals India, comma, the second partition, state equals Karnataka. Sorry, state equals, in this case it is Tamil Nadu. What happens here in this case? You should have a text. You should have a Tamil Nadu.text. You should have a value. That value should have the following information. Your data set. Assume that you have a Tamil Nadu.text with the following ID, customer ID 1, customer name Ram, customer city Madurai, customer ID 2, customer name Arun, customer city Chennai. Like information. Your Tamil Nadu.text file should contain only information associated with the field name that you have specified. It won't have any information associated with this partitioned field. While you loading the data, you need to specify explicitly under which partition this particular record need to be appended. Okay, need to be inserted. So once you define this partition, after loading, what happens here, after issuing this load statement, then only the partitioned field country and state will be created, and the data that it is loaded 1, Ram, Madurai, along with that the partition value country India and the state Tamil Nadu will be inserted. So this is the way by which you need to explicitly specify to which partition that particular data set belongs to. In this case, imagine if you have a data set belonging to Andhra, let me make it as Andhra.text, you have to explicitly specify state equal to Andhra in this load statement. So then only the corresponding data files associated with this Andhra will be loaded in a separate partition. If not else, if it doesn't specify this partition value, it doesn't know where to load this. This is the way by which you need to create a partitioned table used by this syntax partitioned by, and under that you need to specify what all the fields that you are going to organize, and the fields need to be specified. It may be a single field or it may be a multiple field. In this example, we have two fields, one country, another one is state, and after that by loading the data, you need to explicitly specify. That's the key thing. Please make a note. Okay, so this is the way by which you need to insert the data into the corresponding partition. So once it is inserted, the data associated with the partitions will be populated only with the related information. So that if you are query, if you issue a query in your Hive, select start from customer, the table name, where it is customer, where state equal to Andhra. Means what happened here? You have a partition, the first partition based upon this country, and within that country you have sub-partitions for Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Karnataka, etc. And our query will apply on top of the data only on Andhra Pradesh. How this table will be organized? this table will be organized in the following format. You know already that you have user, Hive, warehouse folder. Under this, you have a database. Let me imagine Tiru.db. And you have a customer table. Under customer table, you have a partition by name country is equal to India. And you have again a partition country is equal to UK. So within that, you have another folder, state equal to Tamil Nadu. And then you have another folder, states equal to Andhra like thing. So this is the way by which your data will be organized. This location is in HDFS. Your data file, Tamil Nadu.txt file, once you load it, the data will be under the following folder. Under states country is equal to India. Under country, here you have a country is equal to India one folder. And under the countries equal to India, you have states equal to Tamil Nadu another folder. Under states equal to Tamil Nadu, the file that you have loaded will be organized. This is the way by which the data has been stored in the HDFS format. Okay. So I will let you know with the example. You will have a clear understanding. Please, if you have any doubt, please go through. If you have any doubt, please. Okay. Here. So here, this is an example of how to do partitioning. Here, let me imagine that you have 3 web servers which gathering information across these countries. One is US, another one is India, and third one is Europe. So here, the data associated with this web server need to be brought into HDFS. Target the tool that you are going to make use of it. Either you can go for a tool called as a tool, or we can go for a tool called as Kafka. Okay. So here the data will be fetched and the data will be stored in HDFS. Under HDFS, all the data associated with US server is in form of US.text, India.text, and Europe.text correspondingly. And you have created a partition table customer under which the partition field is country. Then after loading the data, check the load statement will take the corresponding text file from the HDFS and it loads the data into the country table, to the country partition accordingly. Okay, then the user, whenever he issues a query under the where condition, which country it comes under, the data will be go through and fetch only the partitioning belonging to this particular country. This is the way by which you can make use of this dynamic partitioning concept for our effective query retrieval. Yeah, you can check that basically to retrieve the particular data.
Okay, is it clear? What we have discussed on how you can store data in a final granularity manner using this concept of partitioning. So we will have while dealing with some huge volume of data, I will let you know how to create partition, how so you can able to achieve the better performance with partitioning and without partitioning in our real-time data use cases. You will realize. If you have any doubt with respect to what it is discussed, you please let me know. Tomorrow we will be dealing with the hands-on practical on this partitioning, and we have a dynamic partitioning. We have so far discussed about the partitioning and the associated things. If we have a more number of partition field, so we have to partition the very large number of physical partitions. To reduce, we go for a concept called as dynamic partitioning. After that, we discuss about clustering. What is the difference between the partitioning and clustering in terms of performance? Where to use cluster, where to use partition, and finally, how to handle JSON data in Hive. After that, we can have a discussion. Probably tomorrow we will be covering all those things, and we will be needed another one day to discuss about some real-time use cases. Most probably, discussion on this Hive will be over by next Saturday. Tomorrow we will be having session the same time. Okay, 8 o'clock we have our session at the same time, 8 o'clock. Until then, thanks. Bye.